I hope you're doing well wherever you are. My name is Alex Kimena, and I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome you to another episode of the TruZone podcast, where we get to talk about faith, books, and culture. And today I want us to talk about single parenting. And with me here, ni rafiki yangu sana. Namwitanga Mav, aitangwa Mav, but atatuambia jina zake za serikali zote. Karibu sana, Mavlin. Tuambie, who is Mavlin? Tuambie jina zako za serikali. Tuambie everything that you need to know about you.
Okay. My name is Mavlin, Nyokabi, Mbugua. And Mbugua here is my dad. I'm a mother of two boys, 15 and 13 now. That is Form 2 and Class 8. I work as a counselor. I've been doing counseling for the last 12 years. And the last 1 year I've been working in a school. So I'm working with children, but still doing counseling. So that's what I do. I've been a single mom for the last 10 years. This September is 10 years.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. I said being a single parent to my children when my first one was 5 and the brother was 3.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's been a long journey. We've come a long way. And let me just say this. I became a single mom at age 30.
30?
Yes.
Okay.
So I've also grown.
How long in marriage?
I had stayed in marriage for about 6.5 years.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So.
Got married young. Very young. I was 23.
23, yeah.
Yes.
23.
I was 23.
What I'm going to say, 24 to
Yes.
the reason as to why tulikuita ukam tuongee ni sababu I know you as one of the most sober people when it comes to this topic.
Okay.
Because inakuanga ni topic ingine very sensitive.
Yes.
Because truth be told, I don't think it's God's idea and plan for anyone to be a single parent.
Oh yes.
His design of parenting was father akue na mother akue. So, but sometimes naonanga ni kama tu tuna ignore kuhandle hii story because it's a crisis right now we're talking. Nilikuwa naona some statistics zinasema around 45% of children in Kenya wanaraiziwa up in homes that hazina both parents, biological parents. Hizo ni number high sana.
Yes.
And a considerable number of them wako in a church setting. Which is
yes.
So I just wanted you to tell us your aspect, your single parenting, your experience with it. From 10 years from now, 2010.
Yes.
10 years to 2010.
Yes.
From 2010. That time and then you hit that now this safari umeanza solo. Tuambie kutoka hapo. That's the experience.
Okay. I as I've said, nearly get married when you're very young.
Yeah.
And maybe a small background.
Yeah.
I was raised in the farm in Kitale, kwa land ya shamba ya mahindi.
Kitale.
My dad was a teacher.
Oh, okay.
My dad was a teacher, and so he got transferred to some remote school there.
Yeah.
But by the time nilikuwa nazaliwa alikuwa shamalizana na ile job. So he was doing some timber business and he was doing very well.
Okay.
So I was born there, and so I grew up, and then I'm a last born. And the guy I follow is like 5 years difference. So what I'm trying to say is that nilitendekezwa sana nikiwa mdogo. So I grew up under the shadows of my sisters and my brother, and very taken care of. So what brought me to Nairobi was college. So nimetoka home na hiyo mshamba na wokovu, you know. Then I came, then college nika-join Buru. You know, from my rural home to Buru was like black and white. So
Buru wapi college?
East Africa School of Theology. So I joined a Bible school because I felt I'm called to do ministry. So came to Bible school, and so that was now my transition from rural to Nairobi.
Yeah.
I was not so exposed to a lot of stuff. And then I was very young. I joined school when I was 21. So I was very naive. I was very ignorant. I was not exposed, to say the truth. I actually didn't even know what I wanted in a man or in a husband, something like that. So then life went on, and I got married to got married in a church, a big church, and life began. But life was not what I expected, It became difficult, there was no compatibility, we were not agreeing on anything, it somehow became abusive, not physical, but verbal, emotional, very abusive. And at some point, I couldn't even figure out what now I wanted. Because now it had become very hopeless. It had become very difficult to go on. And here I was, still very young, didn't have a job. I just finished Bible school, didn't really have like a career. So my life like somehow stopped. So the marriage wasn't working. So it took me a lot of courage to leave. Because I wasn't leaving this marriage to get into something that was working.
Yeah.
I was leaving to start from zero.
Yeah.
So and because it became so difficult to stay, it was actually not even conducive enough for the children to stay. So we parted ways, and I started from scratch. Now I started in 2010, and I remember I moved from a big house to a small roomed house. And I remember my small son asked me one day, "So mom, what is sitting room? What is bedroom?"
Yeah.
Na kitchen, nikamwambia ndio hii. And so my son really encouraged me. So mom, kila kitu iko hapa, And he looked like he was okay with it, and I knew this is a ticket. This is how we are going to live.
Yeah.
And so we began life there.
But were you employed there?
Yes, I was employed I had just gotten employed. It was like a year or two of working, but I was earning very little money. My rent would take 3/4 of my salary. So I thank God for my mom. She would chip in. She said she'll pay the house girl for me. This was again a resort. So I really used to. So I removed the kids from a private school to get them to a city council school. Manage. So I started from there. But emotionally, it was very difficult because I always joke and I say single parenthood got me an abrupt. It was not something I dreamt. It is not something I planned. I saw it coming because of how now the marriage was going, but I never thought I would end up there.
Yeah.
So I didn't have strategies on how to do it. I didn't have prior training. At just now you're ready. I didn't. So for me, I was learning on the job. Didn't know how to do it on my own. But I began, and I remember the first few nights was very difficult for me to sleep. Not because I'd left my marriage, but because now here I was with 2 sons. I didn't know what their future held. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know whether I'll survive. I didn't know if I'll get to the end of the year. I didn't know if I'll be able to afford this house and and be able to do things now on my own. But I had to start there and move on and accept that this has happened for me and start there. So the journey was like that. So every day I used to give myself hope that tomorrow will be a better day. Tomorrow will be a better day. And somehow I remember the first challenge I had during that time. I had not paid school fees for second term.
Yeah.
Because it was in September, that's when I left. And I had to raise 13,000.
Okay. 13,000.
Yes.
Yeah.
Raise it for both of them.
Okay.
Because it was 6565, I'll never forgot it that time. And raising that 13,000 was like asking me to raise 1.3 million. I could cry. I remember someone telling me, send us a message to everyone. At least everyone to send you 1,000. I remember I did that. I think only 4 people sent me 1,000 each. It was such a big start. It looked like such a big mountain. But the good thing has been that every time you finish that hurdle, you get into another one.
Yeah.
You get into another one. And life has just grown.
Yeah.
And I've gotten stronger. But one thing I did, I accepted that it has happened to me.
Yeah.
The way you lose someone to death.
Yeah.
For me, I'd lost my marriage. And I had to go through the mourning process where you accept, you blame yourself, you get angry about it, you do all that, but at the end of the day, the last thing is you must move on. Because these kids, every day, they are growing. And you not sit there and sympathize and have self-pity and sympathize with yourself. Life has to go.
Yeah.
But you also have to decide, how do I want it to go on? Because you can go on very bitter.
Yeah.
You can go on beating up everyone else because your marriage did not work.
Yeah.
And for me, I told myself, I'm not the only one. It's not a good place to be, but I had to accept. The other one thing I did, I moved churches. Because now it became too embarrassing going back to the same church. Because people would look at you, point fingers, and you don't know who is on your side, who is not on your side. So for me, the easiest thing was to go back to another church, which I wasn't before I got married. And also it was family to me because my bro was there. So it also was a bit comforting for my children just to know that we are still okay. So for me, that's how it began.
Okay.
And it's been a journey that has taught me a lot of things. I mean, I didn't know I had some potential, I didn't know that I can sit outside the theaters, my son there's a surgery going on and I'm just okay, I thought I had to have someone there too. But somehow you discover you have a lot of strength, you have a lot of wisdom within you, just to do it. And again, also being born again, there's a lot of grace that God gives you. I always tell my sons, there is no aisle in the supermarket written single parents. And things will be cheaper for you because you are single. No. Life is the same. Life issues throws to you the same. So there is no, my kids will not go through. My kids have gone, they are boys, 2 of them. They've gone through the same processes any other boy has gone. One of them broke his leg. He broke his leg like this. 2 bones. The tibia and the street, there are those 2 bones there. And and I had to rush him to Kenyatta. I always make fun and I tell him, at least you gave me an opportunity, I went an ambulance in this city. So you will still go through the same processes. There is no excuse. So, but it's an opportunity to really make you look like a very strong person.
There's a quote that I read yesterday. I said, single mothers and fatherless kids are like the widows and orphans of this generation. Is it true? According to you? Because I somehow disagree with you. I just wanted to know.
It is making us look very hopeless. An orphan is someone whose foundation is actually gone. Because you don't have parents. And it's very difficult to live this life without parents. It is somehow true. Because, as you said when we began, it was not God's intention and plan for anyone to raise a child singly. We were supposed to be 2 of us doing this. Because you know why? We are raising a human being. It's not a pet.
It's not a thing.
Yes, it's not a project. You had a part, I had a part. It is a big deal for God. God knew, I'll give you this child at 2 kilos, at 3 kilos. The way kids are born. Like mine, one was 2 kilos, the other one was 3. Very tiny fellas, but he gives 2 grown-ups to raise that person, to become a human being and a citizen, a responsible being. So when one part is not there, it's actually an abnormality. It is difficult. This is how I look at single parenthood. Single parenting is like buying a motor vehicle. You go to the car yard or showroom, buy a very nice car, which has 4 wheels. Okay? And this is the car you're going to use for the journey of life. Then single parenting happens. You know what that means? You remove 2 tires from that vehicle. Then the society and life expects you to still use this same car with no tires. Built for 4. To drive through life without killing people, because you can kill the ones inside and not the ones passing you by. But you must use this
to move.
You can't even balance this car, because it has. If it was 1 tire, you can try turn it into a tuk-tuk. But this one was supposed to have 4. It now has 2. And that is what a single parent is expected to do, and you have children in that car. To get them to the other side of life. That is what single parenthood is. Yes.
It's not a disability, it's not a condition.
It is just doing something doing your part, doing a responsibility you want to do too, you're doing it alone. And you're not doing it on behalf of the other person. You're playing your part.
Okay.
Yes.
There's another challenge I wanted to like find your opinion. Pia mimi nimetoka kwa keja yenye tumelezewa hapa na single mom. Where do you how do you handle the questions that normally come from the kids, or rather the image of your ex-husband as far as your kids are concerned? Like unajua sasa pia kuna ile burden ya kucover your husband because there are kids involved.
Yes.
So how do you balance it? Because sasa zingine kwanza unapatanga kitu wanafanya inaonekana ni mbaya, hata watu wao wanaona ni mbaya. But how do you like maintain that image of at the end of the day this person is a part and parcel of the lives of the children? How do you without exaggerating?
Yes. Yes. Now I want to correct something. Part and parcel. They are not part and parcel of this child. What they are their biological parent. Okay? They played part in conceiving them and getting them here. If they chose to let their responsibility end there. Now, definitely kuna circumstances usababisha watu kukuwa separated. Kwangi ati ulichoose nitazaa niende, you know. Now this, when it comes to how you represent the other party to this child, it depends also with the age. Okay? When they are very young, there's nothing much you can tell the kids. The children, especially you who has remained, they feel you're the one who has chased him away. Yes. Because wanashinda mbona sisi dadi yetu akuji, wewe mama wewe ndio ulifukuza, you know. So when they are young, you let them.
Mimi bado sikuwa hivyo. Yeah, I knew. Nilikuwa na sikuwa naweza kuget nini na happen, but I don't think ilifika hiyo place ya kusema ni mali ndio aliwachuja. I think you nakuanga na watu wazee kidogo. Especially kama kuna watoto waliona what happened. Then they feel ungemsamea mama unatuambianga to forgive or forgive. You know, that's where they're coming from. But now as they grow up, then they start realizing, okay, maybe it was bad. So they start, it depends at what age and what they've been exposed to. Okay? Because now this, we are only addressing what when you are married. Unajua kuna msichana mahali alienda tu akakuwa na boyfriend akapata ball, hata wewe jamaa hajaikuwa. Wewe hapo tunakuja.
Yes, that's a different scenario. But here marriage, if the children saw what led to this, then you already have a place to start your discussion. Because now they'll start realizing, oh, mlikuwa mnakosanaga, mlikuwa anakupiga, if that was the case. So for me, the boys have always known their dad should be respected, should be loved. Okay? Those are the two things I always tell them. He's still your dad. I mean, hata ukwe uende America leo, dadi yako ni ule, na tutabadilisha hiyo. And because of that, he deserves to be respected and loved as he's your father, and you are his children. So for them, they know that.
So it is more of a conversation to them.
Yes, it's a conversation, and for me, I've made it open. My kids can call him if they want. Yes, or he can call them when they need to talk. But even as you call and even as you do that, we must maintain respect and the love that I've talked about. So it is not my responsibility to show them how bad it was. No, if they need to see, they are growing up. And I don't think I have the time to do that. Yes, there's still so much I need to do in making these guys human beings and better ones than me, you know. So I don't think it's my part to really show, you know, and justify myself to them. No. I don't think that's my part. Yes.
There's something that we have discussed off camera about the responsibility of every person in a relationship setting. Like, for example, if I'm dating or if I'm married, and as in sisi wote tuko na responsibility for that thing. And it is normally said, and to some extent I agree, that anything that happens, you have a responsibility of both people, no matter the situation. So maybe if you can tell us, if you're okay with it, what are some of the things that you thought you would have done za kufanya maybe the union is better and all that. Yeah, I don't know if I'm making
Yes,
sense.
you're making sense. Okay, number one, you remember I told you my background.
Yeah.
And then also I was very young. Okay, I'm not saying I should have gotten exposed more.
Yeah.
But I think I should have given myself time to grow, to get to know exactly what I want and what to do. You know, I got married not knowing what a wife is supposed to. Me, I thought I'm just supposed to look nice and smile and just enjoy life.
Nakupika?
Nanipika. So me, I thought that is all it takes.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and then you get there, you realize, they are so many other challenges, you know.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really prepared for that. So for me, one thing I think I attribute to my many problems was a lot of my childishness. I was very young. I was very naive. I was very ignorant. Then the other thing, I think...
But is that your fault?
Maybe I rushed to it.
Okay.
Yes. Just sikuwa nakimbizwa na mtu, sijui pressure yangu ilikuwa
nini.
I should have just chilled. Na nigrow kidogo.
Okay.
Maybe it would have helped.
Yeah.
Then...
But for a girl, ukiwa hiyo age unajua hiyo age inakuanga tricky because I can't really say it was your fault.
Okay, it's actually my, you know, nakumbuka nilikwambia nilitendekezwa sana.
Yeah.
So hiyo utoto wangu na hiyo kuwa tu young, me I know ilichangia mambo mengi sana. Kulikuwa na a lot of things I should not have just maybe stood up for.
Okay.
But because of my childishness, I wasn't able to.
Yeah.
Then the other thing, I think I kept mentors at bay. You know?
At that time, were you born again?
Yes, I was born again. I was in ministry. I was in Bible school. So mimi nimetoka Bible school, utaniambia nini sasa aje?
Hapo kupoteza kiwewe.
Na mimi nimeitwa. So I felt like I knew,
Yeah.
because I knew the word. So hizi vitu napitia ni stumbling blocks. I remember I used to call them that, you know? Until I realized they're not stumbling blocks, they're actually permanent blocks. So I think I kept mentors at bay.
Yeah.
And I felt I'm the teacher, you know? But I came to realize though it's important to be taught and to have someone who you can actually listen to.
Yeah.
And especially marriage. Me usema marriage ainanga bingwa, you know? Ainanga ati us we have made, we are sasa sisi ndio. It's a journey that you need to walk with someone who has been there. I think for me also that really played a big role. And then now the rest just brought in a lot. I didn't know what to do, how to do it. Like I remember I didn't even go for premarital counseling. You know, I was from Bible school. Yeah, these things I had them set, you know. So even when it came to finances, when it came to decision making, I had no clue. You know, to kusomeshwa Bible school, kusomeshwa to exposition, those powerful things. So I was very ignorant, and I think ilichangia. So I was just off. For me, for my part.
For your part.
Yeah, and then I think also I allowed too many things to go on, and dealt with them in prayer. Yet I was to deal with them on the table.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I would fast and pray. Instead of, and then these are things I need to discuss them.
Kutumia prayer kama escape.
Yes.
Yeah.
So ningelia huko kwa maombi, alafu haizai because ikuwa iombewe, ikuwa first. Yes. So I let it go too far. And then nikaona, na si ati prayer ikuwa inawanga.
Yeah.
Ikuwa ya kuombewa, ikuwa tu ifisiwe, but I did the opposite. It didn't work.
Tuko na crisis kubwa sana ya especially young. I think in the times that we are living in, maybe I don't know, maybe ni yetu imekuwa more informed and imekuwa na data mingi sana, but I think that sahi tukifuatilia the data imekuwa ni crisis ingine imeshoot kabisa. Teenagers are getting pregnant. There are so many teenage moms and teenage young adults that I think anytime in history. And mostly in the work that we do in a community and ministry at all, unapata manizi ma hit and run. Sasa kama kasosi akaishia, dem ameachwa hivyo. I want us to come to the church aspect of handling the crisis. Do you think the church has done enough for the single parents?
Okay. If you cut me, you'll find church inside. So I am very churched myself.
That is why you are here.
Yes.
That is why you are here.
I have worked for the church. I have all my life. My
Yeah.
working life has been in church.
Yeah.
So for me, the kanisa. But unfortunately, hapo tu ndo tujawahi elewana na church because again, I think pia single motherhood has gotten the church unaware. So wajuwagi wafanye nini? It's like the prodigal son coming back na mjui alikuwa narudi leo, you know?
Yeah.
You don't know how to handle it.
Yeah.
As I was telling you, I read somewhere, someone was saying that the church has not been able to handle the single man because their fear is, what if we have a docket for them and we encourage it? You know? But someone else was arguing and saying, but the church has a rehabilitation centers for drug addicts.
And then another argument that I had concerning when unasema ilikuwa ni sina pia for single mothers, like it's not like a condition atakuwa anaweza kuwa hapo most likely forever they can remarry and all that. So that's the normal argument that tunasikianga, of which I make sense kwangu. And pia whatever you were saying, hata ukisikia tu vizuri, like the aspect of kusema ati imetupata, this is something that has been with us for long.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't think it's just something that came and tukastukia.
That's why I'm saying church ina behave ni kama imepatwa na hiyo situation. Lakini situation imekuwaga tu.
Yeah.
Okay. It also depends. He avenue wanafungua for single mothers ni ya nini?
Yeah. Exactly.
Because hatufungui avenue so that we can comfort them. We can just empower them.
How?
In this sense, you've talked about teenage mothers. Huyu teenager alikuwa form 2. Akacheza siku ya corona. Akapata pole. Akazaa mtoto. Wazazi wakamalizana naye juu ya hasira. Hauendi shule tena. Yetu mtoto alikuwa anapataga B+. Alikuwa na dream. Ni mistake alimake. Ama ni dhambi. Let's put it was a sin and it has consequences. And he is a baby. So how do we empower this child? Wazazi wamemalizana. Maybe hata wazazi wajaokoka. Ama hata wameokoka lakini this was not their plan. What do you do? So that's why I'm saying the church comes in and tells this girl, okay, come. We'll give you a training for 6 months. Ulikuwa unataka kufanya nini? I wanted to become a marketer. Finally one day. Have form 4, do form 3 to form 4. We have such an avenue in a church. Go through those. Maliza form 4 yako. Umemaliza hiyo. Umepata this grade. How can the church again help you? You can become here, you sweep, we pay you some little money, you go for evening class. That is what I'm talking about. Alex, let me tell you, kukuwa single parent, au kuangi baba na mama. Kama we ni mama, we ni mama tu.
We ni mama.
We si baba. So for this young girl, what can the church do to empower this girl to be the mom? That even if the dad wasn't there, this child will still come out successful. This child will still come out as a person. Don't tuachane na hii cycle. There are too many statistics. Oh, watoto wamejaa wafungwa ni watoto wa single mothers. Rapists ni watoto wa single mothers. Really? So that we stop those rapists, then if we are the ones raising them. Church, come in. Show me how to discipline this child. Because maybe me, I'm not a disciplinarian. But me, don't back in our daughter.
But for your aspect, whatever you say, fathers and mothers, the role of the father, the role of the mother. See the role that single parent play, I think will cover that.
They will just teach me how to be a mom.
See that's
But you see, mtoto wangu hana hiyo role ya father. You know, father hayuko. So I want the church to package it in a way. Mimi kama mama, I can be able to teach both to this child or be both to this child. Now that is why the church should come in.
How? You know, umesema, tuanze kwanza mwanzo. Umesema, you cannot be a father and a mother.
Yes.
You're either a mother or a father.
Yes.
Speaking on behalf of the single father.
Yes.
So if the role is being taught, the role of the father and the role of the mother, then you are supposed to be the role of the mother. Which now brings me to another question: is how do you balance, like for example, the aspect of how do you feel the gap that that has been left by the whether it's a father or mother, as far as the kids are concerned, without strings attached.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before that, you figure
yeah.
The first part, this is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
You know, the church can have programs where they take the girl child to a camp and teach them how to become self-confident, how to know which man to get married to, how to do those things the dad should have taught her. You see what I'm trying to say? The church can organize a boot camp for boys and have few men come in, not really even know who the mother is.
But that's a one-time thing.
But it is at least churches. Exactly. Yeah. But at least church is doing something. That is what I'm trying to say. And teach this young boy of mine how to become a decision maker as a man.
But then I've had conversation. Because I think what you're trying to say is that as far as the programs are concerned, we're allocated up, which I agree is about camps and all that. But you see now mentorship is a journey.
Yes.
You cannot change a culture with one event.
But at least you can leave a mark, Alex.
You can leave a mark.
Yes. But at least you can try.
You can try, but understand what the problem is, man.
Yes.
Hata nikikumbuka zile camp nilikuwa naenda kitambo. Kuna ile the fun aspect that inakam.
Yes.
But you see now, ule mse, for example, nikakuwa na mtu mwenye ananiuliza leo umekuaje hii wiki, unaelewa? As in ile weekly journey and all that. I think that's the most impactful part of that particular event.
Okay. Wacha tuambiane ukweli, Alex. Mtoto wa single mother.
Yeah.
Was single mother. Where the mother is there. Hana baba. So zile vitu zote baba angemfunza. Hata kuwa nazo. Akigrow. That's a truth we need to tell one. Hata tukiwaombea, hata tukifast. Hata tuende wapi. Watoto wangu wana grow one-sided. Two wheels. Ile wheels zingine mbili haziko. And that is how they will grow. Now, you're asking me how I can balance to have a mentor and nisikuwe na strings attached. The first thing I need to do is get someone where there will be no strings, like my own brother, biological brother.
Na kama brother ni mtoto.
Luckily wangu si mtoto. So, kama ni hiyo, try and look for a very comfortable kind of person. A teacher. You know, a teacher teaching your son. Maybe mtoto wako amekaa the same school for 8 years. At least you can tell one of those teachers. You know, I am a single mom. Somewhere where you know, hatutakuwa na issue. When ni teacher, ndio lakini nimekwambia to just have an extra interest in my son and mentor him. Okay? So a brother, a teacher, a youth pastor. You know? Though sasa yeye itakaa ni kama burden pastor, but pia pastor amepewa. The Bible says to him much is given, much is expected. So talk to this youth pastor. Just tell the youth pastor, you know, anytime my son is here in church, or you know, why don't you just talk to him? Now again, we can be having men in the society. Wachana hata na mtuzo things. Yes, they have so much with them. They have made it in career, they have made it in their families, but they don't know how to trickle all this to your kasan.
Yeah.
So he has all this, but anashindwa, okay, mtoto wako amekuja, he's 13 years, okay. Wanaendesha tu gari pamoja. Ajui amwambie nini, ajui. They don't know how to mentor also. So maybe church again should teach men who are in church how to mentor a neighbor's child without even knowing who the mother is. Have days where we say, maybe it's a Father's Day, just say this is a day where the men of this church will spend time with the children of our church, regardless whether it is yours or whether you know the mother or not. Such things.
But now
the problem is, sasa nikikuwa tu wewe ndio specific uncle na wewe sasa ndio rafiki yangu unakuja kumenta watoto wangu, it will be very difficult for me as a single lady because I'm very vulnerable also.
Sasa hapo unapata tuongee. Your manifesto yako ni very good. There's that aspect of identifying. But you see now itakuwa ni kidogo. At the end of the day, kabla ijazilie ifike kwanza ndio bado ni kitu tunafanya. So like how do you because I believe in the insolence ni kwa how do you balance like say akuwa na specific, let's for example specific person mwenye at least hata kuwa na any issue, not really at financial and all that, but at least kuongea ndo cover every place. And as much as the position of the father cannot be replaced by any person,
yes,
but at least to complement some of the major areas without story ya malipo baadaye.
Okay, wacha nirudie nikuambie in a different way. Mtoto ambaye anadaiziwa na one parent ni kama mtoto hana mguu mmoja. Lakini unataka akimbie the same way, afaulu, afike unamwekea the same race ya wenye wana miguu mbili. No, I'm just trying to say because you want to have a mentor who will mentor this child throughout his life. Now let me tell you, even this brother of mine has his family. Now mtoto wangu si priority yake. To be honest, my brother is my very good friend. Yeah. My children are not his priority. You get? Yeah. So even if I'll get this mentor, it will be unfair for me. Kushindwa this person has their own life. Yeah. They're actually doing you a favor by rendering their fatherly services to your child. So it will be unfair for me to demand. Yeah. Because sasa hapo kwa hiyo demand sasa ndio najiletea shida na jifunga. Juu nikidemand sana ataona sasa basi utalipa.
Hapo ndio shida iko mbele.
Exactly. So ni vizuri mimi kama single mother nikubali ya kwamba mtoto wangu hatakuwa na hiyo privilege. Nitakuwa nafanya favor. Mtoto wangu kusaidika. Nikilazimisha sana nitayaribu, nitavuka mpaka. You get? I don't even make sense.
No, kabisa.
Yes.
I'm actually asking that from the perspective of
yes. Yes.
Mtu anajitolea vizuri kutembea na mtoi, ishakuwa responsibility. And
and you know for us, hawa watoto wetu sisi as single mothers, they are our reason for being. You know? Wametusimamishia life. Ujaolewa tena, ujaenda majuu, ujakuwa kitu unataka kukua, kuvaa vile unataka kuvaa, uletangi watu kwako vile unataka, kwa sababu kuna hawa watoto. So if you show interest in this child of mine, you become very important.
Yeah.
You see, so I have to become very intentional that he need mentorship.
Yeah.
Now, my honest opinion, I don't even do those mentorship things. Because I realize now inavuka mpaka. Interest inaacha kukua ya mtoto wangu, tena inaanza kuwa ni mimi. Na mimi si kuwa nataka, mimi nilikuwa nataka usaidie kijana. So what I've done, and you see God ni mzuri. Watu wana grow. There are a lot of articles on boys becoming men. There are a lot of programs. I would rather pay for that. Ukijana asome hizo vitu. Or I just throw to him something on the internet. They put some of this. Then they learn. Because you also want to be careful about your heart. Because at the end of the day, this child will grow and go. Well, utabaki hapo with so many broken hearts and they're wondering that I was trying to get a mentor. So if it is not offered willingly, wachana nayo, Mungu atakupea grace. Yes. But the reality is mtoto wako hana hiyo part. Usilazimishe.
Hakuna kuforce.
Msiforce. Utaniletea shida kubwa zaidi.
Kuna mimi nilisoma. It was a conversation between a boyfriend and a girlfriend. Now the girlfriend I think kuna watu watatu. Sasa dem anasema ni mimi mtu ni I think kitu kimetengenezwa but I think ina reflect on that right now. Sasa anaambia uchali yake, she called you 5 times huku pick simu kwa nini? Sasa kama I was busy kwa job kiasi lakini sema sana. Akasema sasa yeye ataka just some demands to you ataka hiyo na hiyo na hiyo. Next time please pick up your phone and doing I love a man who can take up responsibility. Yani nimekuambia very funny text. Mwanaume akamwambia by the way it's a favor that I'm doing. Because what you have is not responsibility. You're not the burden. And all that. And then ilikuwa okay, ilikuwa so savage but I believe on address kitu yenye happens yeah, sometimes your partner kuwa difficult based on kujimwaga ndani ukifikiria ni favor, it's like a kitu guaranteed and all that. Yeah, and in your aspect, I just wanted to ask you, have you ever found yourself in a position where like kuna mse amejitolea like kusaidia hapa na pale, then you feel like it's your right to access your kunini kusaidiwa hivi and all that. Sasa nataka tuongeleshe ule mtu mwenye bidii hapo chini and maybe the process of getting into another relationship. How to balance the responsibilities bila yani as convert responsibilities ikuwe burden and all that. Yeah.
Now, nilianza na kusema I accept it. Now, you must, as a single parent, regardless whether wewe ni mama ama mzee ama baba, you must know that you're in this thing alone. That is the reality I had to face. Yes, I'm raising these children alone. They are going to become what they are going to become because of me alone. Unakubali, unaangalia situation, unajiambia hivi ndio kwa. You know, I read a very funny joke that someone said I called myself for a meeting. Nikamata imeisha. You see it before we discuss. You come to yourself and you say, you know what? Because, you know, Alex, for me, I could be the one who left. I had a choice. Mimi ndo ningeenda kukwenda single father. You know? So sikubaki because sikuwa na choice. Nilibaki, I made a deliberate choice. Let me stay. Let me be the one to take care of this boy. And so it starts by you saying, I'm in this thing alone. It is my responsibility to educate them, to feed them, to take them to whatever life they are supposed to make sure they know their purposes here on earth. All of that is my responsibility. If I'll do it in a small house, if I'll do it in a ushago, wherever, but that is your responsibility. Where will you back? Okay? You were supposed to be two of you and discuss and know what do you think the purpose of this book. You're not in it together. So you're in this thing singly. And it's a very good place to be. Where unakubali? You know, there's something I tell myself, that no one in this world, let's come back to Nairobi, no one in my family born with my same blood will lack sleep because one of my sons has no shoe for school. And instead of getting bitter, is to accept, because that's the truth. Hakuna vile dada yangu atakosa kula ni nini? Julie hana viatu. Really, hata I don't look very abnormal. Because you know what? It is not their responsibility. It is my responsibility. And so, this responsibility was supposed to be for two of us, but one decided to kujitoa. So mimi niko peke yangu. So in the day I get someone else, it would be also unfair for me to impose this responsibility, which is someone else's, to this person. Unless it comes from them. And they don't see it as a burden, but see it as an opportunity to plant into the lives of these boys and be a blessing and say, you know what? Let me help out educating them. I have patterned my life. Maybe patterned is a different one. But I've arranged my life or strategized my life in a way that with or without someone else, their life goes on. If it comes, maybe it will go on better. But it goes on. And I think every single mother should get there. Don't be bitter at watu wakusaidia, watu mimi tu wanataka. It is your responsibility. So accept it and enjoy it. And look at it as an opportunity to flex your muscles to be able to raise someone alone. Unaimagine God kazi alipea watu wawili, unaifanya peke yako. Exactly. Actually the grace is a strength. It's not strength, it is not stamina, it is grace. You know, sometimes my boys ask me questions na shindo because si atujui, lakini sio unashindwa okay, kungekuwa na mbaba, hii ndio mngemwangalia nyinyi wote ajibu. But hayuko. So either anasemanga ngoja ama sijui ama nitakwambia, you know. I need to go think alone first. And so don't, if this person comes, please know it is your responsibility. You as the parent. Because these children are yours. Huyu akikuja wacha ikuwe ni baraka. Amekuja akuwe kwa maisha yetu. Kama atataka kuwalipia school fees. Kama atataka kuwa-adopt. Kama atataka kukuwa mentor. Lakini isikuwe hiyo ndio gateway. Ati amewapenda sasa acha nijiingishe kwa hii. Because that is how again people are getting into more abusive families. I mean relationships. Unaona mtu amekuja anajua watoto wako, anawapenda, anawapeleka drives, anawapeleka rides, pizza, blah. You get into the mix and you realize this is not what I wanted. Yeah. So I think it is your responsibility. And heaven has registered that Marvin is doing this thing alone.
Yeah.
It is God see ati ameshindwa. Haya kwani alienda? He is aware.
Anajua. Yeah.
So don't live ni kama uko peke yako sana. Ndio huku kuwa na hiyo mentality uko peke yako. Usishikwe na uchungu ndani yako. Hata wanijalingi na niko single mother. Let me tell you, people who are not single parents think we made that decision on our own.
Exactly.
It was necessary to tulijitakia. You know?
Na sasa mtu anaanza kujiblame na kublame society.
Ama wanasema wewe ndio ulitaka ukuwe single mother ungekaa watu vumilia. But you know you were never in my shoes. You don't know what it used to take for me to finish a day. So let me be. Yeah, let me be. If you want to be a blessing to me, fine.
Yeah.
And then there's this statement every Christian tells a lot of single vulnerable mothers. I'm a single parent. In case you need something, let me know. They already need. How far do you want it to get? The almost idea. So let's just be ready to. But as a single mom out there, you I don't want to tell you have what it takes because you don't. You don't. You only have what it takes as a mother. You only have what it takes as a father. Yes. Hii part ingine either wasome ama utafute mtu, there may be a saying ama just know how to do it. Yeah. But you're in this thing single.
Kabisa. It is not the plan of God for any person to be a single parent.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, the ministry that we've been given is a ministry of reconciliation.
Yes.
According to you, what is God's plan and agenda for single parent?
Wow.
Because najua, not to clarify tena, it is not his plan and desire for any person to be a single parent.
Yes.
But I believe that everything under the sun, na kitu yote inaishi na inapumua, hata ikiwa umekosekaaje, umeendaje, God bado ako na mpango nayo. So for that single parent out there, what can you tell them about God's plan for them in the situation where they live?
Yes. Now, there's a song I love that sings and says that God, you're my friend, you're also the lamp. In other words, God can be different things to you. Now, having said that, let me now say this. We serve a God of process. Okay? Our God is not instant. Until you give back. Yeah. He's a God of process and journey.
Yeah.
I looked at my situation. I remember that when I first left, and I was separated before I got divorced. I was separated. I remember one of my the people I call spiritual people in my life, told me, you know, God said don't put asunder. Yeah, and I took a because I wanted, he just threw me off and I got so disappointed. Then I've made the worst mistake in my life.
Yeah.
But again, I realized God is not done with me.
Yeah.
Because if I put asunder and that was sin, He's a forgiving God.
Yeah.
And I'm sure He's forgiven me. You know? But God is a God of process.
Yeah.
God does not look at us from the beginning. He looks at us as an end product. There is something God wanted me to become later on. And if maybe I would have stayed in a nice, beautiful, honeymoon, romantic marriage with all this love thing, I would not maybe have become what I am today, which is true. I've told you I've discovered a lot of potential I had, a lot of strength I had, I I didn't know I would do some things. If I hadn't gone through that process, I would not be what I am now. You know? They say gold goes through a lot of refining, fire, and all that. If they give you gold from the mine and they give you a ring made of gold, which one would look attractive? Tomorrow. And I think God looks at it, even for my children. Maybe there are things God knew. If you stay there, I'm not trying to justify my situation. I'm just trying to look at things maybe from God's view. Okay? There's a kind of mine He wanted out of my son. So He knew if I let you stay there, it might not come out very well.
But then, you know, in my story,
yes.
If my dad in some aspects, and I'm saying this respectfully, in some aspects, I don't think
exactly.
Yeah.
So God looks, you know, He says, do not despise the little beginnings.
Yeah.
So the little beginnings of my sons is this being raised by a single mom. Don't despise it. Because at the end of the day, God is looking at this man, this boy, this junior boy, and he's becoming this certain thing. So let me take you through this process. It might be unfair. It might look like an outcast. It might look like wrong. It is actually, maybe part of it is sin. You know, but at the end of he was looking at the product. So that's how I've looked at it. I've looked at my journey that way. That there's a girl, there's a marveling, there's a woman God wanted to create in me. And maybe the marriage would have filled me, or the marriage would have given me the opportunity to become that. So He stripped me of it, made me very vulnerable, made me very dependent on Him. You know, because that's one thing that I've really learned and I've grown into. He stripped me of any kind of that, because maybe I had not grown into that. And I have grown to become one who really trusts in God for everything. You know, I make fun of my sons and I tell them, you're the only guys who have a father who's very loving, but they get very annoyed. But it's the truth, because I told them, and for you guys again, we share a father, because your father is my father.
Exactly.
Because it's God. You don't have one. You know. But so it has made me also see God as a father. You know, not just as a provider, a king of kings and all. For me, He's really become a literal father. So my son will wake up and say, "Mommy, I can buy this." And I'm sure I'm paying to buy. If he gives me the money, I'll buy him a bike. You know, and so they have learned to pray. I'm not trying to brag, but every time I go to my son's room when they are going to sleep, they kneel. Even when sometimes I sleep and forget to pray, those guys pray. Because I tell them, anything you want, sausages, do you want what kind of a life? Tuna baba wa kukimbilia kuambia hapa. Sisi wetu lazima ambiliwe na heshima na, you know, we have to and wait for him to do it. So for me, I think that has been the opportunity to learn. So God looked at the process, God looked at the end product and allowed me to go through that process. Maybe if He wanted me to become something else, the process would have been different. Okay. But I love what He's made out of me. Though it's not been nice. If I knew this, I would have refused what product is producing, because it's been out of pain. It's a very lonely journey. Maybe we also need to talk about loneliness.
You're next, actually.
Okay, maybe then. Okay. It's a very lonely, literally. Being a single parent is very lonely. Because let me give you a scenario of my house. You come from work, the kids are doing homework, you're cooking ugali and nyama and skuma and all this, and then we are eating, wamemaza homework, they have to sleep by 8, education 6 wameenda, then they sleep. Wewe uko mtu mzima utalalaje saa 2? So you decide, let me watch TV. Wanaanza politics na upendi. So unashinda, you go to another, mpaka unajipata unaona memes za watoto. Hauna series ya kuona. Ama ushaziona zote. So you just sit there. There's something that happened during the day that was kwa ofisi. You wanted to tell someone. Wezi ambia mtu to class 3 na 4. So you sit there. And you just wish there was someone. You go to your phone, you want to chat. Mtu anakwambia, no, right now I'm with the family. Wanakutoa. Wezi wapigia simu. wako na family zao. So you sit there, very peaceful, but very alone. You are so alone. So you go to bed and turn again. You even wake up. You iron clothes. You just trying to find something. It is a very lonely journey. And then this is not an episode for today. It is every day. Na umeokoka. So huwezi enda ulevini ama uende sijui wapi. Hata ukipata kwa opportunity ka kwenda party ya mtu ama kesha, ni once. You have to stay home with the children. It is very lonely. To be honest, there's nothing you do about it. You get used to it. You just flow. Yes. Because what will you do? Get married? I mean, there's nothing.
So you go out, meet people.
Okay.
Like, people just don't know.
What I did.
Or maybe you can tell us more about the social aspect of how
a single man.
Okay. Like the stigma and challenges and
Now, a stepmom is one very independent woman. She makes things do. She does things for herself. She feeds. She pays rent. She's very independent. She pangas her own money. She makes her own money. So sometimes ni ngumu pia cage. So it depends also with the kind of values you have as a single mom, because you can put your food, feed your children, lock them in, and go and have a life out there. But also now it comes down to your values. What do you value? Who are you? You know, how do you carry yourself? But you don't close up yourself. Now, one thing I've taught myself, I had to teach myself to do, is to take myself for lunch or dinner to places we just used to look. Unangojanga kupelekwa. Na juu sijapelekwa, I go sit. I make sure I have money, ndo nisijaibishe. Ama you make sure you have told your sister where you are just in case you get stuck. And you go and sit and order and put your legs on the other seat because hakuna mtu. And just be out there. See how people are doing things and don't get bitter over them. They are gonna want to. Just enjoy and see, wow, people's lives are going on. Don't close yourself and think everyone is suffering. You are the only one in this. What wako to serve? Exactly. So enjoy yourself. If you have a car, put mafuta, drive. Go see giraffes. It's fun just to see a lion, you know. It's a lot of fun. As in, enjoy yourself. Enjoy this moment of being alone. Then the other thing, look. Okay, there's one thing I refused from the beginning. And I know some of my single sisters will kill me, but it's the truth. I refused to become part of them. Part of a singlehood movement. You know, you can join those movements where we are singles for life. Me, I'm not single for life. That's my fault. So I didn't want to get into that mentality because for me, I believe marriage is work.